soul siblings, this is Natalie and you're watching Goddess Undone, and this is a 3-part series of readings aimed as a crisis toolkit. So I found this website called wishingmoon.com and this article, 30 questions to ask the tarot. So as I start doing readings on my channel, I wanted to kind of be prompted with these questions to move through my readings and pick which ones I felt most relevant. And I was going to try to answer one question, but I really felt that there were 3 questions that came up for me in accordance to this present situation, this present crisis circumstance that we're facing right now. So 3 questions kind of popped out at me. So I definitely wanted to make this a little bit of a series. It's a 3-parter. So in the first part, I will be asking the question and doing a reading on health, which the question is, what should I be doing to improve my overall health? The second part will be in regards to wealth. And the question is, what can I do to overcome financial struggles? And the third question is grief. What can I do to overcome grief? So those are the readings that I'll be doing. So it's basically 3 separate readings and 3 separate videos. And I just thought that, addressing these 3 questions and doing this little series would really help us. So if you are interested in these readings as helpful tools to dealing with this particular circumstance of challenging times, if you're interested in those, then please keep on watching. Welcome to part 1. We are going to be asking the question, what should I be doing to improve my overall health? Now, I'm just going to start the video by showing you my cards and just showing you the shuffling and creating a spread, and then we will continue on face up where I will give the reading for you guys. I got one here, just kind of bumped out. Okay. All right, so I got another jumper. The first one I got was the World. The next one that I have here is the Sun. The next card that I have is the 10 of Cups. Right there. So the next card I have here is the 7 of Pentacles. The 10 of Wands. Okay, and the 8 of Pentacles. Now I'm also gonna be integrating a couple of Oracle decks into this. This is the Prism Oracle. Just gonna shuffle until something pops out. Okay, so we have abundance. See it right there. I'm gonna grab one more Oracle card from the Melodies deck. All right, we got one. Guidance. Take a look at it right there. So this is the overall spread that I have to answer the question, what can I do to improve my overall health? I have the Oracle card Abundance from the Prism deck, Oracle deck, and from Melodies I have Guidance. From the Mystic Mondays Tarot deck I have the World, the Sun, 10 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, and 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so let's get started. So, kind of seeing the 10 of Cups and the Sun coming up, I'm getting the traditional Rider-Waite imagery of the 10 of Cups in my mind, just that image of the family skipping around, having the time of their lives, and beautiful, perfect sunny day outside. We also picked up the Sun over here, so I'm getting a sense of spending time outside, getting vitamin D, spending time in nature. I think that this is going to be crucial, it's especially challenging in times like these when we're kind of forced to be cooped up inside the house. But I think, now that parks are opening, now that different things are opening, it's definitely important to get out in the sun. If you have a backyard or a balcony, just getting out in the sun, even if it's for like 5-10 minutes a day, kind of making sure that you're doing that every single day. Even just opening the windows, opening the blinds, that's important. We need the light. You know, we are light workers here. We want the light to come through. We need real natural sunlight and lots of it. You know, drinking milk if you drink dairy. And I think part of the message of the sun, as well as the 10 of Cups, is to be in the present moment. That's what I'm seeing. You know, with the work of the cup suit, there's a lot of different emotions around grief, around isolation, around love, different things like that. But like once those have already been worked through, it's really just a matter of being able to enjoy, you know, the love of your family, the love around you, the love of the present moment. So really just sticking the present moment. The sun is kind of a similar thing, like being out in the world, being open, just living every day with arms wide open. You don't want to be like emotionally bitter or closed off, because that's going to affect your health. That's like a stress thing. So when you're closed off, it's you're kind of working against yourself in terms of your health. So emotionally, if you're wide open, you know, as much as you can be, I know that, you know, we all kind of have our different traumas and things like that. So, you know, it can be a challenge, and we have various degrees to which we're open. But I think definitely if you're able to just keep that emotional sense of like openness and presence, just basically thinking like heart out, heart stretched out, you know, actually do some stretching. Keep the body limber, keep the body open. It's very important. Just this, like, I'm just seeing like all these things that are the antithesis of being closed up, being inside, being jaded, being bitter. Those are like things that you kind of want to work through. You want to be aware when those feelings are coming up and kind of, you know, let them pass. Like, don't, you know, bottle it up or press it down, but, you know, at the same time kind of go to, you know, how can I be open? Being emotionally open, bringing like prana, bringing like the life force into you, you know, kind of just like being a sponge for all of that good life force, the sun like soaking in, quite, you know, literally openness. You don't want the tightness, you don't want the constriction, because the constriction it's just going to create tension, and that tension kind of blocks up the system, and that's when, you know, you're not going to have the optimal health situation. Being more aware of when you're feeling those feelings of constriction, those feelings of jadedness, when those kind of feelings come up, you know, acknowledge them, let them pass, but then bring yourself back. Maybe that's when you're starting to feel that way, you know, that's a good time to get outside, or that's a good time to take a stretch, or to journal, or to do something to kind of get you back into that open state. Or, you know, if you can like meditate or talk to someone, you know, that has your best interests, that will lend an open ear. So the next couple cards I have over here are the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles. We'll focus on these for a little while. So the 10 of Wands, it's just really telling me about, it's, you know, it's a card of burnout. So of course I feel like it's definitely obvious that a card like this would come up in my reading. I feel like, you know, 10 of Wands, it's just telling, like, it's kind of asking you to be mindful, like you don't want to get here. You don't want to get here. And sometimes it's hard to avoid, because we do have to do a lot of things. You know, if we have families, we have to watch our kids, different things like that. But I think that overall you do really need to kind of keep it at an 8 or a 9, so to speak, like when you see yourself coming, like approaching this, backing up, because when you're burned out, that's kind of when your immune system is down. So that's when you can get sick, and that's when you just don't feel good because you're just too tired. So it's just a matter of really, you know, and I also want to talk about something that I've been dealing with personally with this one, the 10 of Wands. You know, since this is the wand suit, it kind of brought like the word to my head, mania. So, you know, in addition to being burned out by like work and things that are more challenging and maybe things that we don't, you know, enjoy as much, there's the opposite end of that. There is burnout by being too, like, not too passionate, but approaching things with too much fervor, too much intensity, getting too excited about things. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like being excited, having passion. Those are, you know, kind of very much things that are vital to our life force. But I think it's just when you kind of go off that deep end, you know, everything is really about balance. So when you kind of see yourself really pushing to get like all your passion projects done, and just, you know, just that really feeling like, oh, I'm so excited about this, I'm so excited about that, when like the thoughts come like rushing to you, and then like, you know, it almost kind of gets your heart racing. Be mindful. Again, it's always about being mindful. It's not about blocking or stopping something. Just kind of realize, okay, you know, I'm feeling a little little bit manic. And again, I'm not talking about, you know, clinically diagnosed bipolar disorder or manic depressive disorder. You know, it's definitely like important to have passion. It's definitely important to, you know, be inspired and work from that place and create in your life. Of course, it's definitely important, but you need to kind of take time to relax. You need time for yourself. You need time to decompress. I think I need to decompress a little bit. I'm kind of getting a little manic with this reading. I can feel that energy, so I'm just going to come back to myself. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, you know, just realizing when you're getting like too excited, whether it be over something that's, you know, challenging or upsetting you or difficult for you, or over something that's even really exciting you. I think we don't always realize that, you know, kind of brings about stress also as well. So I would say just, you know, really this energy is definitely, you know, in terms of health, very, you know, critical to look at. So we don't want to get to this point. We want to be aware of when we're approaching and, you know, take a step back from the bridge, so to speak. So let's talk about the Eight of Pentacles. I'll also, you know, I got the 7 and the 8. So there's a succession there, 7 and 8 of Pentacles. So to me, in this case, this succession of the 7 and the 8 of Pentacles is really speaking to self-care and consistency. So I would say, you know, kind of not letting your cup run empty, really just taking time to kind of realize when you're, you know, approaching the burnout phase. Approaching is the key word here, not in it already, but when you're, or even if you've gotten there, you know, is just to be able to kind of take that step back and, like, you know, kind of have some self-care. What can you do for yourself for self-care? You can, you know, do some light exercise, or you can, you know, literally, quite literally, you know, have a drink of water, you know, like you are, it's almost like similar to a plant. You need that water to grow, to survive. You know, it's just simple things, not necessarily the extremes, just like those little things, like, have I had enough, you know, am I hydrated enough, you know, do I feel like I need to, like, again, back to the stretching, you know, light exercise. And I, you know, I don't really, you know, for me, it is a struggle. So I'm seeing this personally, but for me, it's not about extreme physical activity. None of this. I think it's about, you know, organic physical activity. So I'm seeing a lot of light physical activity just to kind of keep the blood flowing, keep the life force running through. Or if you're, you know, another thing is when you're working on projects or, you know, different things like that throughout the day, you're just like doing your job. Like, sometimes you forget to eat because you're like, I want to get this done first. I want to get that done first. Being able to just take a break and saying, you know, no, maybe, like, even this is hard for me too, but even saying, like, you know, I haven't gotten this thing done yet. I wasn't able to get this done by the time I wanted to get it done, but it's lunchtime. It's a little past lunchtime. I'm already pretty hungry. I need to eat something. The blood sugar needs to be elevated. It's getting pretty low. So there's a lot of that element of that. It's like, you know, the pentacles, the earth, taking care of the body. Other things that you can do for self-care, like things that you enjoy. You know, I'm not really big into, like, the big, you know, beauty rituals around self-care, but, you know, like, if you really, you know, things are just getting a little too stressful, and you have the time, and you really find that, like, taking baths calms you down. Take a bath, you know, even just like taking a nap. If you're able to do that in the middle of the day, if you're, you know, like, you feel like your body, your mind are just really, you know, approaching burnout or just really burned out, you can just, like, decompress and, like, shut off for a little while. That's a part of self-care as well. So I think this is really, you know, taking care of the body. So I'm seeing a lot of, like, very simple things you can do, you know, that are, like, pretty literal. It's actually all coming up for me that way. And then the Eight of Pentacles is about consistency, you know, making sure that every day you're getting some, like, light stretching or light exercise in, making sure that every day you're getting a little sunlight, making sure that every day or you're stepping out, just being really present with the nature of things, being really present with your family, the things that are, you know, bringing joy, the things that are making you laugh. You know, also even the things that are bothering you, like, just be aware, you know, don't try to suppress or put off what you can deal with. What is really going on in this present? How can I make the most of this present? How can I have the most joy in the present? How can I, and how, you know, and do these things consistently every day. You know, try your best. Of course, you know, for me, this is a very challenging thing. So, you know, I would say, like, even if you can't, you know, if you don't end up exercising every day, you know, because you're feeling, for us women, I know, like, you know, the menstrual cycle, I'm going through the menstrual cycle now, and I know that, you know, there's like that one day where it's like, you know, full on, like towards like right in the middle of the actual menstruation. I kind of get like to the point where it's just this 1 or 2 days, and I think like yesterday was that day for me, and even today a little bit. I have this energy where, you know, literally moving the body is very difficult. You know, doing anything, being focused, it's very difficult. So these are times where you can't necessarily do all the little things every day. Like, you know, working out is helpful in those situations. In the past couple of days, I found it pretty helpful, but it's okay if you lapse and you can't do it. Be kind to yourself. You know, be consistent, but when you're not consistent, be mindful of that. Say, okay, you know, I wasn't consistent today. You know, I really didn't get outside today, get enough water, get enough to eat, or I didn't eat that healthy today. Like, just be aware of that when it comes up, those days that the consistency isn't there. And it's okay, you know, like, it's okay if you don't get everything done every day, but if you just have like a complete day where you're just like, I'm not, you know, I haven't done anything, you know, for my health, like, you're just that awareness so that you can bring yourself like, okay, tomorrow I'll do better. Tomorrow I'll kind of come back. What can I do tomorrow to keep the train going? If you are kind of making sure to integrate these things, you know, like, you get excited and then you feel like, oh, I could skip a day. Don't do that. You know, if you find it too much, just do one thing from the list. So I think that would be very helpful. Just remaining consistent and being aware of when you're not consistent and why you're not consistent, but forgiving yourself, and allowing yourself those passes when they're needed. That's also part of the health. It's really that balance of the yin and yang energy. You know, this is like kind of consistency, doing certain things. It takes a little bit more of the yang energy, like the actual doing, but then sometimes you just need to kind of, you know, physically rest, physically decompress. It's just really about the mindfulness of the situation. And then the last card that I have here is the Worlds. So I think the World plays a little bit into the Eight of Pentacles, just that like idea of repetition and consistency. But I do also feel like it's, you know, kind of about the journey, your health journey, your life journey. It's not, you know, a goal to get to. There's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be days where you're really not feeling good, but just kind of bringing yourself back, being aware, and being able to kind of take those steps to continue to improve your health. The next day, if the, you know, the day before it hasn't really, you know, gone according to plan, just kind of keeping that cycle going, you know, of taking care of yourself, little things that you could do, just kind of keep it going. So to wrap it up, I have abundance and guidance. Find safety in your beacon's light. So to me, this is really just saying, you know, follow your intuition, you know what your body's telling you, know when you need to decompress, know when you need to be a little more active, know when you need to be outside, inside, hydrate, you know, be working. It's just all very much a fine balancing act, following your own internal guidance, your own internal compass in regards to your health. What do I need to do to feel good? What do I need to do to feel healthy today, at this moment? Not necessarily, you know, thinking about it, you know, a week, a month down the line, or what you haven't done up to this point. It's really just about checking in every day with yourself. How am I feeling physically? What do I need to do to kind of feel better physically? Maybe I just need to kind of chill on the couch all day with a cup of tea. But maybe, you know, this is a day where you need to exercise more, really get outside, you know, go to the park, play Frisbee, you know, with a family, friend, husband, wife, you know, what have you. Abundance for the body in terms of really keeping your cup full, keeping hydrated, just taking that care of yourself. For me, I even find, like, after I get out of the shower, you know, like, I put on lotion every day. I feel like that's a very important act of self-care. I think it's like very personal, how you take care of yourself, but just kind of keeping that cup full, the abundance. So really keeping the cup full, checking in to see what you need to do today to feel the healthiest and be the healthiest that you can be. That completes part 1 on what I should be doing, or what we should be doing to improve our overall health. Thank you for watching. I hope that this was helpful. Please subscribe and have a good one. Bye, guys.